Welcome back to Premium Picks. Tonight we're going to break down bkfc 41. For those of you who don't know what that is bare knuckle fighting championships. Don't knock it till you watch it. Guys, I was very skeptical at first. I go, bare knuckle, come on, what is this? The most barbaric thing on earth? It is freaking entertaining, guys. It like I watched last event and I thought it was fantastic. Do I like it as much as MMA? No. Is it as skilled as MMA? No. Is it as entertaining as MMA? Hells yeah, it's damn entertaining. And if you're in a group of friends, like Saturday night, whatever, you're slamming beers, whatever you're doing, you put the UFC on, your friends are probably going to bug you. Like, honestly, I'm at the point where I don't even like watching the fights around too many people because I like to pay attention and actually enjoy it myself. But if you're around people and you put this on, guys, this thing's like a party show. Like it's very entertaining. I'm happy that it's gaining some fans and it's continuing because I wasn't sure that this thing was gonna catch on and keep rolling, but I like it. It's fun. It is what it is. And this card has 6 UFC fighters on it and it has a banger of a women's title fight as well. Now, of those 6 UFC fighters, no one's coming to watch Chris Camozzi, so we're not even going to talk about him. But you got Big Ben Rothwell. Like, this guy at one point was like a top heavyweight in the world. He was an IFL heavyweight champion. So he was a top heavyweight at one point. He's a huge guy. He's a scary looking guy. So do I want to watch a huge heavyweight throw bare fists? Hell yeah, I want to watch that. But this is all about the co-main and the main event. Chad Money Mendes versus Eddie Alvarez. That's a top featherweight contender versus a UFC lightweight champion at one time. And then in the main event, you got Platinum Mike Perry, who's just a banger and crazy personality, versus middleweight UFC champion Luke Rockhold. So great names. I think it's going to be a super entertaining. Before we actually break down the fights, A-Train, what do you think of bare knuckle? Have you watched it? What do you think? What do you take from it?
It's different. The striking is less technical, as you would see in a UFC fight. Like when we talk about like fight IQ and all that stuff, just throw that shit out the door. There's none of that actually matters. This is a fight. This is a fight, right? Which what surprises me and how much of these things go to decision, right? Like I'm just like, wow, like nobody's going down. Like it's pretty crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know if
So
you saw last card, buddy. It was
no,
full of knockouts.
full of knockouts. I didn't see the last card, but I've just started because we're going to be starting to do this. Just watching some tape finally. What's that guy that used to be on the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter, Julian? What's his name? Fought Mike Perry a few fights back. Is it? Just let me bang. Just let me bang. That guy from that
The
UFC.
guy from the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, that guy. He was in bare knuckles. I hated him. But
Hey, by the way, Mike Perry beat Michael Venom Page last fight. Michael Venom Page is a pretty good striker over there in Bellator. Kind of a gimmick guy. Like sometimes it's like hard to know how good he
yeah,
really is.
but he might be in
But
line for the
hey,
next title fight. So like in Bellator, mind you. But yeah,
and Perry thrives in these because there's no grappling, there's no kicking. Perry's got a fucking chin. He throws hard as hell. Like this is right up his alley.
yep,
So actually, you know what? Let's break down these two fights because
yep.
these two fights are wicked. It's going to be fun. It is what it is. Let's get into it. We got Chad Money Mendes versus Eddie Alvarez in bare knuckle boxing. If this was a UFC fight, Eddie Alvarez would probably be a big favorite. I mean, he was a UFC lightweight champion. He's a division higher or a division bigger. He's a lightweight. Chad Mendes is a featherweight. He's a short, stocky beast of a man who's usually known for wrestling and heavy hands. Well, there's no wrestling here. So it's heavy hands versus Eddie Alvarez. But Eddie Alvarez is a wrestler as well. And Eddie Alvarez is reckless. So Eddie Alvarez at his best is beating Rafael Dos Anjos, which I don't know how the hell he did that. He knocked him out. And he had some wicked wars with Michael Chandler, but at his worst, he's getting beat by Donald Cerrone, getting embarrassed by Conor McGregor. So you don't know what the hell you're getting with Eddie Alvarez. So call me crazy, but I like the smaller guy here. I like Chad Mendes for showing a better chin. Like, he gets stopped sometimes, he turtles up and kind of the refs like walks in and stops the fight, but he's never been sparked out cold. Like, other than that, I think the Jose Aldo flying
Jose
knee or
Aldo
whatever.
was a knee though.
Exactly. So I like Mendes's chin, his speed, and his heavy hands. I think Eddie Alvarez is kind of chinny. I think I got Mendes here. I think it'll be a fun fight. What do you think?
I Mendes has got the power. Alvarez has sort of got the technical prowess, but how technical is BKFC really, right? So power means a lot here, right? And the only thing that would steer me away from Chad is because I read this report where he doesn't really give a shit, right? He said, "This might be my last fight. Do you care?" They asked him, "Do you care about fighting for the title?" I don't even know who the champion is, but they care. Do you care about fighting for the champion? He's like, "It's not on my like to-do list." He's like, "I don't really care. I'm just gonna fight this one out. Maybe if it's in spectacular in a sense that I might, feel the urge to fight another couple in BKFC." So, you know what? He is the stockier guy. He's got the better chin and he hits harder. And maybe we get a couple fights out of him if he does starch Eddie. So I'd like him to starch Eddie. I'd like him to knock him out. I'd like a couple more fights from Chad in this bare knuckle fighting because it'd be good for bare knuckle fighting. It'd be good for that part of the sport. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna go with Chad because of power. This is an all power pick, right? So that's what it's going
And
for me.
Chad made his BKFC debut that last event, and he won by first round knockout. So he looked great. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes these guys just excel at this, just quick power guys. Like, maybe that's his thing. I mean, not that no one's going to have a long career in bare knuckle fighting, but maybe this is where he's meant to be champ. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
All right. Moving on, we got an interesting main event. I want to see it. We got Platinum Mike Perry, who's a welterweight, versus former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold. And I'm back in the welterweight. I'm back in the welterweight who couldn't break into the top 10 to beat the middleweight UFC champion. Call me crazy. That's what I got. Luke Rockhold, hell of a grappler. Hell of a grappler. If he gets on top of you, this guy has some of the best submission grappling. He's very smooth, very good on the ground. And on the feet, he's a great kicker, but I've never liked his hands, and nobody likes his chin. And he's going against a power puncher in Mike Perry. So in no world is Mike Perry a way better mixed martial artist or way better fighter than Luke Rockhold, but in bare knuckle boxing, I'm taking Mike Perry to knock out Luke Rockhold. In fact, I can't believe Luke Rockhold's taking this fight, but I see a platinum knockout. I don't know what what Luke is thinking here, but I'm tuning in to watch it for sure. What do you think?
I even look at tape for this fight. I picked Mike Perry based on chin and stupidity and just going forward and just throwing bows like and throwing punches because that's what he does, right? See, I don't see Mike shying away from Luke, but I feel like Luke can shy away from Mike. Mike will keep going right after him. Luke would want to stand at range and sort of like box, like really box with him, right? But that's not like Mike Perry to do this. I feel like he's gonna make this a dirty, grimy fight, Mike Perry style, platinum style. Mike's known to take a punch, so yeah, Mike Perry walks through everything, takes six to give one, and that one would crack Luke Rockhold because Luke Rockhold. The chin doesn't get better; it gets worse, right? So, and what's his age? Like, I haven't even looked that up. Like, he's probably old. So, yeah, Mike Perry.
Well, guys, there you got it. Those are our predictions and thoughts on the fights. Don't overthink it. There's literally, this is not some skill versus skill. This is a bar brawl, but I'm telling you right now, it's fun as hell to watch. I know maybe a lot of you haven't seen it. I recommend watching it. Give it a shot. Like I said, it's a lot of UFC fighters, a lot of familiar faces, and it's entertaining. And the thing is, UFC's on earlier in the day. It's like, if they were on at the same time, you're going to probably choose the UFC. Like I would too. But UFC's on at 4 o'clock. This is on later at night. Give it a watch and see what you think. I think you'll be surprised. I think you're going to enjoy it. As always, guys, give us a like, give us a subscribe, drop us a comment. If you have a different feeling on the fights, let us hear it. And you know what? If you've watched it before, just drop a comment whether you like it or whether you hate it. I'm curious what you guys think of the bare knuckle. I'm not asking if it's better than MMA. That's not the question here. MMA is way better. But if you enjoy it or you don't enjoy it, let us know. Until then, take care of yourselves and enjoy the fights. Have a good one.